of you have seen this cute little face on your social media feeds before? This is the axolotl, and it's easily one of the most unique creatures on Earth. They look like real-life smiling cartoon, but they actually have a superpower. They can completely regrow their own body parts, like their legs or even their hearts. Don't believe me on how cute they are? Watch these quick TikTok clips and see for yourself. They are pretty adorable, right? Now that you have met with our little friend, let's move on and see how they actually live in the wild. So, in this part, let's learn who is axolotl and how it is classified scientifically. First, it is belong to the kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Amphibia, order Urodela, family Ambystomatidae, genus Ambystoma, and finally the species is called Ambystoma mexicanum. It is also commonly known as the smiling salamander. Next, axolotl is native to Mexico. These amphibians are specifically found in the Lake Xochimilco and Lake Calco. Their name axolotl is actually translated to water monster in the ancient Aztec language. Unlike most salamanders, axolotl can stay underwater in their entire life. They also come in a wide variety of unique color, morphs, and patterns. They are critically endangered species in the wild. However, they remain highly studied in medical science today due to their extraordinary limbs and organ regeneration ability.
There is only one place left on Earth where axolotls live in the wild, which is Lake Xochimilco, a shallow, high-altitude wetlands in the heart of Mexico City. Historically, it ranged across multiple lakes in the Valley of Mexico, but centuries of urban drainage and wiped most of that out. Xochimilco is all that's left. The habitat is shallow, under 1.5 meters deep, slow-moving and dense with aquatic vegetation. What makes it unique are the chinampas, the traditional floating farms that doubles as a critical axolotl shelter. Soft mud, nutrient-rich water, heavy plant cover, very specific conditions, and this species is built just for that. The water needs to stay between 6 and 20 degrees Celsius with a pH of 7.4 between 7.8 and oxygen saturations of 70 to 100%. And yet, in the 1998, there were 6,000 axolotls per square kilometers recorded, but only recently in 2014, just 36, almost a 99% collapse driven by urbanization, pollution, and invasive species. The ICUN now lists it as critically endangered.
Let's meet the axolotl, one of the most fascinating amphibians in the world. First, let's start with its appearance. The axolotl has a large, sturdy body with a broad trunk and a long eel tail that help it glide through the water. One of its most recognizable features is their feathery external gill, which extend from both sides of its head. This gill allows the axolotl to breathe underwater, although it can occasionally swim to the surface to take in a breath of air using its lungs. However, despite having a small and blunt teeth, axolotls are skilled predators. They feed on worms, insect larvae, mollusks, and a small fish. During the day, they often hide among aquatic plants or in a muddy lake bed. At night, they become more active hunter, using a feeding technique called suction feeding, where they quickly suck in their prey into their mouth. Another remarkable feature of axolotl is neoteny. Unlike most amphibians that undergo metamorphosis and move into land, axolotls remain aquatic throughout their life. They retain their genetic features such as their external gills and even after reaching at the hull. Finally, the axolotl is famous for its extraordinary regenerative ability. Even if axolotl lost a limb, tail, or even parts of its heart, spinal cord, or brain, it can regrow the damaged tissue with little to no scarring. This amazing ability has made axolotl an important model organism for scientific research. With its unique appearance, unusual life cycle, and incredible regenerative power, the axolotl truly stand out as one of nature's most extraordinary creatures.
And how does axolotl reproduce in meat? Basically, axolotl reproduce sexually with internal fertilization, whereby the male axolotl will deposit their sperm onto the bottom of the water. Their sperm are known as sperm packet or also spermatophore. And then, female axolotl will come and pick those sperm into or using their coca to fertilize them before laying their eggs. However, axolotl rely on indirect sperm transfer. When the male and female axolotl ready to mate, they tend to do some sort of dancing to initiate their breathing. For instance, they move in circular, swimming around, trilling, and nudging each other's tail, which can lead to the breathing and release some sort of pheromone to attract each other. Let's continue on the axolotl life cycle. There are five stages, which are the egg, larva, juvenile, subadult, and adult. Let's go deeper into these conversations. Go into stage 1 and stage 2 first. After the female has laid the eggs, they become embryo in 21 days and develop limb buds, and also their hearts begin to beat. And then they slowly go into larva in 2 months that they are fully aquatic and have external gills for breathing. In this stage, they last anywhere from several months to several years. So in between 1 year, they become juvenile in stage 3, which they develop more adult-like features and reproductive organ. And as they grow bigger, they need a regular tank for comfort. And in stage 4, they become sub-adult, which they grow even bigger, in between 20 to 25 centimeters, and they also develop sexual maturity. We can differentiate the male and female, whereby the male have the cloaca and the female body are more rounded. And let's say in stage 5, they become adult, that they reach their full size, which is 20 to 30 centimeters, and they breed, produce offspring.
Ever wondered why such a small amphibian receives so much attention from scientists and conservationists around the world? Despite its size, the axolotl plays an important role in both nature and human society, from maintaining ecosystem balance to contributing to scientific discoveries. This unique species provides benefits that extend far beyond its natural habitat. In this part, I will discuss the importance of axolotls to ecosystem and to humans. Axolotls plays an important role in maintaining ecosystem balance. They help control prey population by feeding on insects, worms, and small aquatic animals. They are also part of the food web, serving as both predators and prey. In addition, axolotls are considered bioindicator species. This means their health can reflect the quality of their environment. If their population decrease, it may indicate pollution or habitat problems. By supporting species interaction and ecological balance, axolotls contribute to biodiversity in freshwater ecosystem. Besides helping the environment, axolotls also provide important benefits to humans. Axolotls are highly valuable in scientific research because of their ability to regenerate damaged body parts. Scientists study them to better understand tissue repair and regenerative medicine, which may help improve future treatments for human injuries and diseases. They also contribute to education and conservation by increasing public awareness about biodiversity. In addition, axolotls support economic activities such as ecotourism and responsible breeding programs. Therefore, axolotls are important not only for ecosystems but also for science, education, and society. Protecting this remarkable species will help preserve biodiversity and support future scientific discoveries.
Before it was a modern scientific marvel, it was a terrifying god in hiding. Using the ultimate act of shape-shifting to escape death, I present to you the legend of Xolotl. To truly understand Xolotl, we have to go back in time and look at its cultural history. In Aztec mythology, Xolotl was the rebellious dog-headed god of fire, lightning, and transformation. To escape being sacrificed by the other gods, he used his shape-shifting powers to camouflage across three distinct ecological environments. First, he hid in the crops as a double stalk of maize called a xolotl. Next, he fled to the desert as a twin agave plant called a mexolotl. Finally, running out of options on land, he dove into the water to become the exolotl, meaning water dog. Biologically, this myth is very fascinating. In the ancient Nahuatl language, the name Xolotl was actually used to describe unusual variations and mutation in nature. Therefore, this legend was an ancient way of classifying morphological diversity. The Xolotl is the ultimate survivor of this tale, perfectly mirroring how a species undergoes evolutionary adaptation to claim a highly specific ecological niche. But this brings us to a profound paradox in modern diversity. If you look at the sheer numbers, Xolotls appear to be thriving. Millions of them exist globally in homes and research labs, yet in their native canals of Xochimilco, they are on the brink of extinction. As biologists, we must understand that high population size does not equal genetic diversity. Nearly all captive axolotl today suffer from extreme inbreeding, tracing back to just 34 ancestors shipped to Paris in 1864. If we lose the wild axolotl, we lose the irreplaceable, resilient evolutionary history written into their own original DNA, a blueprint that 1,000 home aquariums can never replace.